Hello, Wrestling Revolution fans. My name is Wade Skaggs, co-host of the Wrestling Revolution. If you read the title to this video, which I'm sure you did, you know that today's date, the date that I'm filming this at least, is November 13th, 2011. 6 years ago today, we lost a man who was one of the greatest performers of all time. No matter what company, WWE, WCW, TNA, ECW, NWA, whatever. He was the best. The man I'm referring to, of course, is Eddie Guerrero, Latino Heat himself. As most of you may know, I didn't really watch much of WCW back in the 90s, or ECW, a little, but not that much. The only thing I really remember from WCW was NWO. I was born in 1990, so I didn't remember all that much from the wars. I wish I did. I really wish I could just, have that excitement of watching Eddie every week in the Cruiserweight division in WCW, But I digress. But I did watch wrestling back then. I was more of a WWF guy, as you guys know. And, after the buyout, I didn't really watch that much. I'd watch every now and then, but I didn't watch that much. And my dad would still watch more than me. So, in 2004, WrestleMania 20, my dad wanted to watch WrestleMania 20 with me, and so we watched it, and a couple of the standout things had to do with Eddie. I hadn't watched No Way Out, where he won his first WWE title. He won it from Brock Lesnar, which I went back and watched it in a great match, and the emotions were just, it was great. Just seeing him win his first WWE title was amazing. He won his WWE title match that night at WrestleMania 20. But the moment that really stands out is the moment he had later that night when Chris Benoit won his World Heavyweight title for the first time. Just that moment of those two standing in the ring, embracing, and just the emotions. It was great. Even at the time when I wasn't as emotionally vested in those two, I could still tell, man, that was special, And even now, looking back on it, oh my gosh. When you can see Chris Benoit videos anyway nowadays, it's a moment that stands out to me. Eddie Guerrero, after that, made me tune into SmackDown every Friday night. Since 2004, I believe WrestleMania 20 was March 14th, 2004, and this is 2011. I haven't missed a Raw or a SmackDown ever since then. I started watching religiously because of Eddie Guerrero. He made me love wrestling. He really did. He was the best. No one was better than Latino Heat. Everybody loved him. He was a heel even when he was a face. I lie, I cheat, I steal. It was great. So yeah, I watched Eddie. I watched his just great feuds with JBL and Kurt Angle and Rey Mysterio later on. His feud with JBL is, to this day, one of my favorite feuds of all time. And I can just remember, during his feud with Kurt Angle, him auctioning off Kurt's medals and stuff. Oh my gosh. I still remember that after all this time. It's just, he was so funny. He was great. I remember the night of the 13th, 2005, very vividly, actually. I was actually sick that day. I was upstairs in my room at 9 o'clock, trying to rest. My my dad came upstairs at around 9 o'clock, um, and he came in my room and he looked at me and he said, um, Eddie Guerrero passed away today. I sat there in silence for a while. He was my favorite wrestler. He was my favorite. Just to hear that. I mean, you guys know what that was like, right? You were there. It was just, it was so surreal. I couldn't believe what was going on. I bolted downstairs so I could turn on Raw, and there was Vince telling the world what had happened, and I just kind of fell apart, man. I just started crying, and it was like he's one of those guys where you'd watch on TV, and you felt like you knew him. You felt like you lost a friend. It was pretty hard on me, actually. Even to this day, I still think about him all the time. You can even ask JR. Sometimes I'll text him at random times, and I'll say, man, I really miss Eddie. Every time I see Vicky on TV, I'll think about him, and I'll think about how much I miss him and how much we all loved him. I can't help but think even in 2011 he'd still be on top of his game, still lying, cheating, and stealing his way to victory. Driving down the ramp in a souped up lowrider with hydraulics, I mean, how many WWE titles would he have had up to now? And it hurts to know that these younger fans and fans in the future will never know what it's like to sit at home and watch Eddie do his magic on SmackDown every week. I miss that. I miss him. Even though it's been 6 years, he's still one of my favorites of all time. He was the best in the world at what he did. Sorry, Chris. But he was. And I'll never forget him. Well, I didn't really mean for this video to go this long, but when I talk about Eddie, I tend to get a little emotional. Thank you all for letting me share my memories with you. I beg you to just go back and watch. I mean, if you never really watched much of his stuff, go back and watch some of his old stuff on YouTube or something. I have his 3-disc DVD set that WWE put out a few years ago. JR actually bought that for me for Christmas. A few years ago when it came out. Go buy it. It's a great set. Matches from WCW, ECW, WWF, WWE. But it still will never compare to the magic of just watching him week in and week out. And I even saw him at a live event once, a SmackDown house show in 2005. It was January 27th, 2005, I believe. Don't ask me how I remember that. At Nationwide Arena, which you guys know we've been there before. We've filmed videos there. So I just wanted to take this opportunity to share my memories of Eddie with you guys, and just hope that you guys will never, ever let him be forgotten. Well, I I'm about to go watch TNA's Turning Point pay-per-view. So I hope all of you will remember Eddie forever. And just Eddie, we will never forget you. We love you. Viva la raza.